In this video, we're going to have a look at ratio for the National 5 numeracy qualification. We've got 4 examples to work through here. To make purple paint, James mixes red and blue in the ratio of 2 to 5. So, the ratio of red to blue is 2 to 5. If James uses 20 litres of blue, how many litres of red must he use? So we need to make sure this proportion is kept. Okay, for every 2 parts of red, there's 5 parts of blue. So we've got 20 litres of blue, so we can just pop this underneath in the blue section. We just need to look for the multiplicative relationship. So to get from here to here, we're going to multiply by 4. Therefore, I need to multiply this also by 4. 2 times 4 is 8. So how many litres of red paint must he use? James must use 8 litres of red paint. We could have looked at this a little bit differently. We could have looked at this with a bar model. So it's been shared in the ratio of 2 to 5. So altogether there are 7 parts altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I'm just going to shade these in here. So what was it? It was 2 parts red, 5 parts blue. So here's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's my blue parts. And here's my red parts. Okay, so this proportion must always be kept. So we are told that James used 20 litres of blue. So we're saying that altogether, this represents 20 litres. And hopefully you can see that 20 is being shared in between these 5 sections. So we could work out what each section is worth, because we've got 20 being shared between 5, and 20 divided by 5 is 4. And because all the sections are equal, the red sections will also be 4. And that's how we can also get our 8 litres here. Okay, so that's just another wee strategy for how to solve that. Sisters Rose and Lily inherit £8,000 from their late grandfather. The inheritance money has to be shared in the ratio of 3 to 1, with the eldest sister Rose getting the larger share. How much money do they each receive? So here we're sharing the total amount. In the last question we were scaling up, but in this problem here we shared the total amount. I'm going to once again do this with a bar model, and then I'll show you the way and how we can do our working. So we've got an amount and it's shared in the ratio of 3 to 1. And who is it? So it's Lily, Rose and Lily. So Rose is getting 3 bits. Here's Rose. And here is Lily. Altogether, they are inheriting £8,000. Okay, so I'll just maybe draw something on top here. I'll just say that altogether, this is £8,000. And hopefully you can see that that £8,000 is being shared between 4 equal parts. So if we do 8,000 divided by 4, we're going to get 2,000 into each section. So if we need to figure out how much does each person get, well, Rose will get 3 lots of 2,000, 6,000, and Lily will get 2,000. So we can think about this with a bar model. More generally, however, we've got like a different way to kind of do this, just a more algorithmic way. So we can take the number of parts. So we've got 3 parts and 1 part. That's 4 parts altogether, and that's what we see in the diagram. We then take an amount that's being shared, 8,000, and we split that into the 4 parts. That means that each part is worth £2,000, and that's what we can see here, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Okay, so Rose gets 3 parts. So Rose gets 3 lots of 2,000. Rose gets £6,000. Lily gets 1 lot of 2,000. So Lily's just getting £2,000. You know if you're right here because the two amounts that is being shared should add up to the total, in the case which was 8,000. Okay, two more examples. 3 steel nails are shown below. The lengths of the nails are in the ratio of 1 to 3 to 5. The length of the middle nail is 7.8. Calculate the length of the large nail. So this is one where we're going to have to scale up. We're not sharing the length of the nails. We're going to have to scale up here. Okay, so it's kind of going small to medium to large. The length of the middle nail, so I'll just put small to medium to large. The length of the middle nail is 7.8 centimeters. What is the length of the large nail? So do you notice with this example, it's quite easy to see what we were going up by. It was easy to see that we were multiplying by 4. But if it wasn't easy, we could figure out what to multiply by doing 20 divided by 5. Because in this example, it's not easy to see what we need to multiply by. So we need to figure out this multiplicative relationship. So we're going to do 7.8 divided by 3. And 7.8 divided by 3 is 2.6. Essentially, to get from here to here, we've multiplied by 2.6. And if we want to keep this ratio in proportion, we need to multiply everything by 2.6. So 1 times 2.6 is 2.6. 5 times 2.6 is 13. So what's it saying? Calculate the length of the large nail. So the large nail is 13 centimeters. Okay, last example. For the Commonwealth Games, the closing ceremony, there were 3 categories of seat available. Type X seats were the cheapest, Y were the middle, and Z were the most expensive. The most expensive seats were £90. The ratio of seat prices was X, Y, Z, and it was 3 to 5 to 7. So for every £3, the cheap seats were, the middle seats were £5, and the expensive seats were 90. What was the price? What is the price of each type of seat? Okay, so if we have a look at this problem here, we are told that X to Y to Z is 3 to 5 to 9. And Z is the most expensive. And it says here, the most expensive seats were £90. So the most expensive seats were £90. We look for this multiplicative relationship, and hopefully you can see where we're multiplying by 10. So if we're multiplying by 10 here, we need to multiply by 10 everywhere. So what is the price of each type of seat? So we'll just say type X. Type X was £30. That's the cheapest. Type Y was the middle seat. Type Y is £50. And type Z was £90. Okay, part B. The ratio of the number of each type of seat was 4 to 3 to 1. So there was more cheap seats than middle seats than expensive seats. So I'm just going to do this again. So X to Y to Z, the ratio was 4 to 3 to 1. There was a sellout crowd of 48,000 tickets. Calculate the total amount taken in ticket sales. Okay, so there's quite a lot going on here. We need to figure out how many cheap seats there were, how many middle seats there were, how many expensive seats there were, and then we can use that to figure out the cost, because we now worked out the cost in part A. So here we need to share 48,000 in this ratio. So we're going to need to add the parts together, which is 8. So we're going to share that 48,000 between those 8 parts. 48,000 divided by 8 is 6,000. So that's for one part. So the cheap tickets, there's 4 lots of 6,000. So altogether, there were 24,000 cheap tickets. For the middle tickets, there was 3 lots of 6,000, which is 18,000. And for the expensive tickets, there was 1 lot of 6,000, which is 6,000 tickets. Okay, so altogether that's 48,000 tickets. So that's how many cheap tickets there are, middle tickets there are, and expensive tickets there are. We want to calculate the total amount taken in ticket sales. So remember, one ticket, or the cheap tickets, each cost £30. Okay, so the cheap tickets, I'm just going to put CT for cheap tickets. There's 24,000 tickets sold at £30 each. So 24,000 multiplied by 30 is 720,000. For the middle tickets, there was 18,000 tickets sold at £50. And that's 900,000. That first one should have been 720,000. Yes. And for our expensive tickets, we sold 6,000 expensive tickets and they each cost £90. And that's 540,000. Okay, so the total cost, or the total income, would be our £720,000, our £900,000, and our £540,000. And that is 216,000. £2,160,000. Okay, so a lot of big ideas going on there, but hopefully that's given you a starting point when we're looking at this topic of ratio. I said that should be 2.6 up there. Okay, thank you very much.